Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR with my oldest comic book, Chick Young's Blondie. Comics Monthly from Harvey Comics. Look, it's a 10-cent cover. I think this is the only comic I have with a 10-cent cover. Let's take a look. Here we have the main character, at least the title character, Blondie, looking in on her husband in the shower. And there's the dog in the bathroom. Dog's laughing. The husband, Dagwood Bumstead, his shower's getting filled up with water. It looks like the faucet knob broke off. It's filling up. And Blondie is shocked. I read this last night in bed. So let's take a look at how old it is. By Harvey Comics. Here we have it dated June 1959. It's still holding together. A lot better than some of my younger comics even. My younger, older comics, as it were. Alright, so this is a fun read. Here we've got, so Blondie, of course, was a comic strip, syndicated comic strip, Blondie, by Chick Young. But they have some comic books, so I think I only have 2 of these comics, like 2 Blondie comics. This one being the oldest. But I kind of think these are new stories, comics. I don't know if they reprint strips. Because, like I said, I read this, and they were stories. So here in the first story, this is a 1-pager. Doesn't really say the end. I'm not missing any pages. So we're calling it a 1-pager. Blondie. Dagwood's coming home late. And I hope the wife's asleep. All quiet so far. If I can just get into bed without waking her. She's waiting for him at the top of the stairs. You look beautiful standing there, dear. I thought wives liked to be told they're beautiful. I don't know. She pulled him in? Maybe it's I don't really get it. Get into bed now. Here we've got a full-page ad for Goodyear. It's Goodyear tires, but for your bicycle. We've got some testimonial by this fella. Who is he? Brian Paul Sullivan, 15 years old, of Long Beach, New York. He's a paper boy. And these Goodyear tires get the paper to everybody on time. It ensures ground gripping traction for safer, faster stops. Anyway, I like these old ads. Look at how much time they spent drawing such a nice suggested that she wanted to go outside, maybe, but then she didn't. But maybe now she does. What's up, kitty? You want to go outside? Alright. Maybe I'll just set this to a nice page for you to look at while I let the kitty out. Maybe you can take a look at one of these ads. What's that? It's a grenade. Alright. I'll be right back. You want to go outside? Out you go. Okay, in or out? You want to go out? In or out? Get outside. No? It has gotten a lot cooler, and apparently the kitty wants to go outside but doesn't want to go outside. This is a nice thick one. It's pretty thick, pretty floppy. Alright, pretty old, 1959. Alright, in the first feature story, what was the cover? This doesn't happen. What's the dog's name? I forget the dog's name. And the dog has puppies. Lots of puppies. Alright. It's Blondie in Winner Takes All. Here we've got the first panel, kind of like the splash title page of comics, where this isn't how they're showing the future. A picture is worth 10,000 words. Click. So it starts, he's taking the picture, you're like, what's going on? And then it goes to this panel, and here's Dagwood beating up some guy at his front door. But it's free. You might win $100. And he's just like, and he kicks him out. Read the card, sir. The guy slips a card underneath. Dagwood reads it, and they're giving out free film and for a best action shot contest at Ace Photoshop. So he thinks, I could use $100. Kitty, what's your problem? So he's like, I gotta go downtown. I gotta rush downtown and get my free film so I can win $100. And kissing the wife goodbye. There's $100 waiting for me. Picking up the free film. Kitty, I'm just gonna... So he's all happy. He's got his free film, and he's gonna take an action shot that's gonna win the $100. I'm back, dear. I see you bought a roll of film. No, it's free. I entered a photo contest. There's $100 for the winner. But dear, the film is the wrong size for his camera. Yes, the different sizes of film. So he's like, oh, I had that money in the palm of my hand. It slipped through my fingers. But then Blondie says, why don't you just borrow Herb Woodley's camera? He'd loan it to you. Like, oh, bless you, thank you. And he goes over to ask Herb Woodley. But he doesn't seem too happy about it. Even before he finds, give me one good reason why I should loan my camera. Ooh, some key hairs. $100 should be reason enough. And then he wants half. He's really greedy about it. I'm gonna get that $50. He's like, yeah, he loaned me the money. This is funny too. How about an action shot of you washing the dishes? No. Is that the thanks I get for trying to win $100? And also, so this is 1959. I used to read the Blondie strip in the newspapers all the time. I think even though his iconic haircut has stayed the same, I think it was a little different. I think they made these lines a little bolder, so it looks like it's shaved right down, except for these wings. Oh yeah, here's all the puppies. It's like, oh, grab your puppies. Let's get a great action shot with all your puppies. But then as soon as he's going to take the pictures, they all get camera shy. I don't know how they're getting camera shy. It's like they're crying. Oh, here comes the neighbor. Splash. He accidentally hits the neighbor with the water. And then, wham! Sock. Ends in fisticuffs. And here comes the daughter Cookie. So if you haven't read the old Blondies, but maybe the newer ones, you think that's not Cookie, but it is. She's much younger, and she comes along. This ought to make a good picture of her daddy. Click. And here comes, that's Herb's wife. Is that Herb? Yeah, Herb. It's like, aren't you ashamed you're fighting there? So Cookie goes down and delivered her picture, and it's in the paper. And they won. Winner of photo contest, Dagwood Bumstead. The fight. And then Herb sees it as well. Like, all right, I'm gonna get my $50. Congratulations. Where's my money? He's got a shiner. So then they start fighting again. Like, that's Cookie's money. She took the picture. A lot of fighting. And there's the runaway. In this comic, Blondie, no, Dagwood. He's trying to do something nice for his lovely wife. He's like, you're not gonna believe it. I'm gonna get you a luxurious mink. It's too good to be true. And they're neighbors. I wasn't sure at first, but Tootsie, and Blondie, and Tootsie's Herb's wife, they're neighbors. It's kind of like the Flintstones with Wilma and Betty. Even the same kind of, well, blonde and. Do you have black hair? Are you a brunette? I don't know. So he goes and comes back. Dagwood, what do you got in the box? Oh, you'll see. He's got a pair of minks, like live minks, and he's going to breed them. Thinks, oh, eventually we'll have enough to make a mink. Oh, and then Cookie comes in like, oh, your pussycat's jumped out of the box. At first I thought, what? That doesn't look anything like his son. I think this guy, we don't say his name, but I think he's like kind of like the nosy neighbor kid who always comes by, wakes up Dagwood from naps, such. Like he's like, oh my God, we gotta go find all the minks. And they're running around, and he only finds one of them, and that's the end. She's like, oh my God, my husband is he's something. So in this Blondie story, the neighbor baby. What do we got going on? Cookie's friends, like my dad tells awesome stories. And then this is the classic. I love it. In the comic strips, that would be a comic strip. Dagwood, always sleeping, having a nap, facing the back of the couch. And that would be a good theme. That was always a theme in his comic strips. Well, in her comic strips, Blondie. It's like, Dad, all you doing is sleeping. And then they start playing and fighting the girls. Ouch, you no good. Oh, because she wants to be, they want to play cowboys and Indians. Two little girls in there beating each other up. Oh yeah, and then Blondie's like, Dagwood, did you sleep through that? Like, the kids are going crazy. What will the neighbors think? She's very concerned with what the neighbors will think. And she's like, you're always concerned, Dagwood, you're always concerned with what the neighbors will think. Then he tells a story about smoking his pipe there, about when they brought home Cookie from the hospital. And this is their son. What's his name? I can't remember what his name is. Alexander. And Dagwood thought he was doing good by keep all the people right away. We want to come see your new baby, new baby. He's like, no, busy. The baby's busy. And then Blondie gets upset. They've been home for 2 days and nobody has wanted to come see the baby. I said, what's the point? Oh, they're always concerned. She's always concerned with the neighbors. Anyway, it gets turned around because then Blondie's like, he's like, oh, do you remember that time when we brought home the baby? And then at the end, she's like, indeed I do. Remember my dress? And he's like, what? I don't remember your dress. And then she's all upset because the dress was a dress. Oh yeah, when everybody came to see the baby, she was wearing this hideous thing that Dagwood picked up from a rummage sale, and she was completely embarrassed. So you know what she did? She clocked him over the head with a lamp, started assaulting him. Wham! Ouch! You nitwit! Crash! Sock! Bam! Stop it, Blondie! Stop. What will the neighbors think? Alright, here we go. And this is the 1959 calendar. So let's take a look at all the different comics that were available in 1959. Everybody loves Big H comics every day. So starting, yeah, I was a little surprised. I don't know when Richie Rich was invented, because the Harvey comics are always, like when they advertise what's coming out, usually half of these are Richie Rich related, but there are none. That means I don't think he was around. But what was? We got Blondie, Joe Palooka, starring Humphrey, Playful Little Audrey. So I don't really remember Humphrey or whoever this. Audrey, yeah. Buzzy Crow. I don't know Buzzy Crow. I don't know if he was drunk. if that's why he was buzzed. Buzzy. There was that other crow. What was that strip? With Tony Millionaire? Drinky the Crow. Maybe that's just what I'm confusing Buzzy with. Spooky. Felix the Cat. So I think that's when they sort of dropped, along with Buzzy the Crow. At least I haven't seen ads for that in my Harvey comics. But here we have Sad Sack and the Sarge. At first look, I thought so he's crashing through the ground, but I thought that was ice, because it's white, and I was like, why is he lifting weights on top of a frozen lake? But it says G.I. Jim. Then we have Sad Sack's Funny Friends featuring the Sarge. Looks like the Sarge has 2 titles there. And Dagwood on the kite there. So a Blondie title and a Dagwood title, which I kind of would argue would be all the Blondie comics and strips. Baby Huey. Was never a fan of Baby Huey. Big idiot. Was he a duck? Baby. Little Lotta. I do remember, in some of my Richie Rich comics, maybe there's some of those. And they were kind of funny. Hot Stuff. So, yeah, that little devil, he was around before Richie Rich. Same style, they kind of look the same. I mean, all these, it's all the same style. Little Dot. This was funny. It looks as though Little Dot is like dreaming of dots, running around skipping. She's got dots on her bedspread. Oh, and there we got the Sad Sack. The Sad Sack. Hey, this is kind of like the reverse cover of that one, where Sarge is going through. If you planned it that way. If you put that comic on top of that comic, it would be like, it would connect the cracking on the white, or as it was pronounced in 1959, the white. Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy comics are awesome. I only have, maybe have one. Little Max. I don't know this dude. We got Little Audrey again. Looks like she's got 2 titles. Oh no, she's playful there too. It's just smaller. And Casper. Casper with only one comic. This Timmy. Is he from the Lassie TV show? TV series. Timmy. He's got his own line of shoes. Top-notch grips. Oh, here we got the Sad Sack. Let's take a look-see. Everyone loves the fabulous Sad Sack and his funny friends. Now, what's her name again? Sadie. I may not be smart, but at least I'm beautiful. Sad Sack's cousin. Here we've got the Sad Sack himself. Gee, friends, thanks for reading my book. I'm so boo-hoo happy. Don't forget about me. There's a book about me too. It's the Sarge. When I'm in my own comic magazine, I'll request our friends to read my comic. That must be the general. So here's the comics. Oh yeah, so here we get a closer look at what they were showing us here. Looks like there's one more. This Sad Sack's Army Life wasn't featured in this. Let's take a look-see. So Sad Sack came out every month. Sad Sack's Funny Friends every other month. And Sad Sack and the Sarge every other month. Oh, and the Sad Sacks Army Life. It's 3 times a year. Looks like they've gone up north. They've got a dog sled team. Look for the big Harvey comics. I think maybe, are they referring to the big Harvey comics as the floppy ones? Did they come out with digests? I don't know. And then it looks, maybe Hot Stuff was quite new. Meet Hot Stuff. He's really red hot. And everyone will love Little Hot Stuff. You'll laugh out loud at the funny adventures of this little rascal. And introducing Stumbo, the giant. He looks like an idiot. Can I call him? He's saying, everyone who likes hot stuff will be my friend. Just who are your friends? A mountain of laughs. Have a treat. Can't beat. He's the funsation of fantasy. Oh, I also like that Dagwood, Bumstead. There's often comics about food. This one's actually really funny. Dagwood, I'm sure you'd feel better if you didn't eat before going to bed. This is, but dear, I have such dumb dreams when I go to bed without eating a snack. Try it once. So if he doesn't eat before he goes to bed, he says, I just dream dull documentary subjects and travelogues on an empty stomach. Okay, go get yourself something. So he gets a whole 2 armfuls. So he's got spaghetti, a big slab of cheese, potatoes, condiments, maybe a potato salad. Is that a roast? Or a ham? Probably a roast. No, he's talking about spaghetti. Spaghetti always makes me dream in color, good, sharp, clear color. And then he falls asleep after a good snack. He's catching the Z's. And oh boy, he's having a great time. Look at his dream. It's so cool. He's dreaming that he's like, oh, he's on roller skates. Looks like he just roller skated. He looks like he's in the sky or something. There's a lion, a blue lion, and this seagull or something. And then he's running through the meadow with three ladies, and they're singing. And yippee! Now he's shooting out of a man's mouth on a rocket. Like there's other people with rockets. He's got a, what do they call those things? Anyway, like a flag thing. Is that a pennant? Maybe a pennant. This guy's got a baseball bat. I think that's a lady. Look at all these people again. They're shooting everywhere. Yippee! Yippee! Wake up! Why did you wake me up? And Blondie's concerned. You were having a nightmare. That was the first entertaining dream I've had in a month, he says. He's very upset. I think I'll make myself a sandwich. So he makes himself this sandwich. He's like, the sandwich tastes terrible. And he falls asleep. And then he has a dream that the ship capsized and he's holding onto a log, like he's angry. And then he wakes up and he's like, I gotta finish the rest of that horrible sandwich. I gotta find out what happened if I made it. The next morning, oh, Daisy, the The dog's name is Daisy. Oh, the alarm didn't go off. Blondie's like, get up. We all overslept. The dog runs in to Alexander's room, pulls off the covers. You don't have to push so hard, I'll get up. The dog pushes the daughter right out of bed. It's like, no time for breakfast, get out. And the dog's freaking out, he's shaving, they're washing their faces, trying to gulp back some coffee before they rush out the door. And then Blondie's like, what's that big newspaper doing out there? It's the Sunday paper. We forgot it was Sunday. Now they're coming back. Be brave, Daisy. It's gonna be some, well, it's gonna be something. Then there's these comics. Colonel Potterby and the Duchess. These were kind of, I don't really know this character at all. There's the Duchess, the Colonel, they're at the beach. Lady, swimsuit walking by. The Colonel's got a heart. He's following, walking on his hands, buying her a cold beverage. The Duchess pushes her off the dock and now ties the Colonel to an anchor, and then she goes off and finds herself a sailor. The end. And there's an opera, 2 for today's matinee. Like the Colonel's being nice here, he buys some flowers, goes over to the Duchess's house. We got 2 tickets. And she's like, oh, is that the same sailor? The first time when I read this last night, I thought that was a woman. I thought that was just her friend. But now it kind of looks like that's a guy. And they rush out. He's left with no date. He's got his flowers. So he's left sitting in the park. He gave his flowers to a little girl, while the monkey and the music man sing a song. Here we have a printed story called Sleigh Ride. Oh, maybe there's 2. Plan for Father, or maybe that's just like highlighting something. I don't read the printed stories. Oh, this one's good. Another one about napping. They might not be able to finish their naps, but look at this picture, so great. I'm sleepy today. I think I'll take a nice nap. Me too. I think I'll do the same. There's Blondie. Are you napping again? Dagwood, you're a lazy, good-for-nothing sleepyhead. You're right, dear. He's going to do something about it right after his nap. And next door, Tootsie is having the same issue. He's napping her husband. And she's like, can you go next door and borrow a 4-cent stamp? Like, I just got comfortable. But, he does it anyway. And then Blondie's like, he wouldn't accept the 4 cents. Can you go next door and give them the 4 cents? Blondie, poor Blondie, just wants to have a nap. Tootsie, Dagwood brought the stamp over but refused to let me pay for it. So now both the wives are getting the husbands to try and pay and not pay for the stamp, and all they want to do is have a nap. They're like, take the 4 cents. He's like, no, my wife won't let ridiculous, accept it. I will beat you. I will beat you up. Well, they're beating each other up. And it kind of goes back and forth like that. And they're like, I can't keep my eyes open. Maybe they got it resolved. Can't remember. Oh, then she doesn't even want to send, she doesn't even need the stamp. Ridiculous. So they're like, oh, hey, well, since we're not going to mail that stamp, why don't we go shopping, Blondie? It's just like the Flintstones. So the wives leave to go shopping. They're like, see you later. I'm going to go back to my couch and have a nap. That's just what, Dagwood's going to do as well. Wait, that's not happening yet. The wives are getting them to do work. Let's put them to work. Let's get our sleeping beauties up and put them to work. Oh, Tootsie. Like, stop, and nap time's over. Mow the lawn. And they're like, it's great, now we can go shopping. Look, there goes our wives. Like, all right, let's get back to the sleep. Let's go back to sleep. But then she forgets something. Calls her good-for-nothing lazy husband. A good-for-lazy husband, and pulls him off the couch. But Blondie didn't go inside, so he's still sleeping, Dagwood. But then she does go back in because she figures he's sleeping. And then Blondie throws Dagwood out the window and hits Herb. I remember in the comic strips, when I used to read it daily, I didn't know that they were neighbors, but that Herb fellow was in his carpool. They'd always be carpooling together. What we got here? Oh, Dagwood's being nice. He's a nice guy. He's going to buy his wife some chocolates. Today's special, $1. The clerk tries to upsell him for a larger box of chocolates. And he's like, nope, let's get the smaller one. We don't want to get our wives' hopes up too high. And they'll always want big boxes. What's the joke? Oh, after all that, now he's got to take his wife to the movies. I don't know why he's so upset. He just wants to smoke his pipe and read the newspaper. Son, can you hand me my newspaper and pipe? Cookie, please, fetch me my slippers. No king. Othro never had it better. Until your attractive wife makes you take her to the movies. And that's it. And for, I was like a color television set, $1. I don't think so. It's a plastic, like, viewer. It has comes with 8 rolls of color film. Have hours of fun watching these things. I bet they're like still pictures and you just turn it. This is Zorro. Here we have record your voice at home on records. Not a cheap tape recorder, make actual records. That would be neat if it actually worked. I don't know if they just would. $6.98. Pretty expensive. Well, that's it. It's my oldest comic. Cover priced 10 cents. Chick Young's Blondie. So, thanks for taking a look at it with me.